Fast-paced, suspenseful music starts, a man clutches his chest and collapses on a busy sidewalk. Dozens of people walk past. Some glance over. Some pull out their phones, not to call for help, but to record. The seconds tick by. No one moves to help. Why? Are these people monsters? Or is something far more subtle, and far more terrifying, at play? This chilling paralysis has a name: the bystander effect. It's the cruel psychological phenomenon where the more people who witness an emergency, the less likely any one of them is to help. To understand it, we have to go back to a cold night in 1964, and a story that shocked America. Her name was Kitty Genovese. Returning home from her job late at night, she was attacked near her apartment building. She screamed for help. Her cries echoed through the courtyard. Lights in the surrounding apartments flickered on. People looked out their windows. The attack wasn't quick. It happened in stages, lasting over half an hour. Yet, despite dozens of people reportedly hearing or seeing something, not a single person effectively intervened until it was far too late. The entire city, the entire country, asked one question: why? Psychologists Bibb Latané and John Darley were haunted by this question. They refused to believe that an entire neighborhood of people were simply callous. They suspected it was the situation itself. The fact that everyone was watching meant that no one felt responsible. They called this diffusion of responsibility. Imagine your sense of personal duty is a single, solid ball. When you're the only witness, that ball is entirely in your hands. But add another person, and it splits in two. Add 10 more, add 100, and your piece of the responsibility becomes a tiny, insignificant grain of sand. To prove this, they devised a brilliant experiment. They invited students into a room to fill out a questionnaire. Suddenly, smoke would begin to pour into the room from a vent. When a student was alone, they reported the smoke 75% of the time. They saw a problem and took responsibility. But when they put 3 people in the room, the results were staggering. The group reported the smoke only 38% of the time. Most just sat there, glancing at each other, breathing in the smoke. Each person saw that the others weren't reacting, and concluded, it must not be an emergency. This is a dangerous cognitive loop called pluralistic ignorance. Inside their minds, a battle is raging. This looks bad, but no one else is panicking. If I get up and scream, fire, and it's just a steam pipe, I'll look like a fool. This fear of social embarrassment, of misjudging the situation, can be powerful enough to override our most basic survival instincts. Today, the bystander effect is supercharged. In the age of the smartphone, we are all perpetual witnesses. We see cyberbullying rage in comment sections, but we scroll past, assuming someone else will step in. We see emergencies on the street and our first instinct is to record, not to act, becoming digital bystanders. So are we doomed to be passive observers? No. The research that identified the problem also gives us the solution. The key is to break the spell of diffusion. Psychologists have a 5-step process to counteracting the bystander effect. First, notice the event. Second, interpret it as an emergency. Don't look to others for cues. Trust your gut. Third, and this is the most crucial step, consciously assume personal responsibility. Tell yourself, if I don't help, nobody will. Fourth, know how to help. And fifth, act. If you can't help directly, you can still break the diffusion for everyone else. Don't just shout, someone call 911. The responsibility is still diffused. Instead, point. Make eye contact. Single someone out. When you do that, you shatter the bystander effect. You've just taken that vague, diffused responsibility and handed a solid piece of it directly to one person. You've made them an individual again, not just a face in the crowd. And you've given everyone else a role model for action. The bystander effect reveals a dark but important truth: our morality isn't as fixed as we'd like to think. It can be swayed by the people around us. But by understanding this psychological glitch, we can overcome it. We can choose to be the person who steps forward, who breaks the silence, and who helps. Uplifting music swells and fades out.